We cut the legs off of our pants, threw our shoes into the ocean. Sit back and wave through the daylight. Sit back and wave through the daylight. Slip and slide on subway grades. These shoes are poor man's ice skates. Fall through like change in the daylight. Fall through like change in the daylight. I miss ya, the lines in my road. Some call it on monochrome. Maybe I'll paint them in myself. 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 These sidewalks slick with limestone. Building walls and middle payphone. It rings like all through the daylight. It rings like all through the daylight. Daylight, we could hitchhike to Maine now. But someday I'll see without these frames. Sitting in the daylight, I don't pick up my phone. 'Cause in the daylight, any that feels like home. I have my plots in my life, and no reward has the top right. I'll just unplug it for today. I'll just unplug it for today. Open hydrant, roll the windows. It's all my makeup get overload. And flow down Grand Street in daylight. 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 And with just half of the sunburn, new yellow light that iron. Step back and here comes the nighttime. Step back and here comes the nighttime. Daylight, we could hitchhike to Maine now. But someday I'll see without these frames. Sitting in the daylight, I don't pick up my phone. 'Cause in the daylight, any that feels like home. Daylight, we could hitchhike to Maine now. But someday I'll see without these frames. Sitting in the daylight, I don't pick up my phone. 'Cause in the daylight, any that feels like home. Sun going down, let's get together on the bridge. We'll be up tonight. Black pants, red sweater, and brown bags above the rivers, northern lights. You see what I see, I don't know what you think. Believe watch the sunrise on my screen. So let me go to the solid place today. Better black gray, my better black gray. What I know is letters that can spell. I hear now it's words that can say. I decided to start writing less, and I'm talking more every day. 16 other friends of our seat right there. 'Cause I can turn up a thread. Now my theory and do the
All right, well, we're just wrapping up the install on the headlights here. These require a little more power than the normal lights. I think for the additional functions, they have like sequential blinkers and other options you can do that we can talk about a little bit later. But in order to do that, you have to, this is the only one that's not like 100%. I mean, it is still plug and play, but have to route it and plug it into the fuse box. So we'll plug this guy in real quick, get this set up. And then before we do that, I just want to show you one more thing over here. One thing I noticed working on this truck, the reason why these old headlights kind of broke and failed, you know, a lot of the hardware was missing. Like here, there's a little grommet that pops in underneath here and a screw that goes through it. I picked these up at Toyota this morning. Unfortunately, they didn't have the screws in stock, but you can see over here, I put this one in and even just the grommet actually holds it in place better than nothing. So I'm trying to help Josh out, doing the solid and replace these things that I see in that are broken. So picked up a couple extras while I was there because I'm going to be doing the same thing on my truck in a couple of days here. All right, so this is really easy to put in too. It's literally just a little square thing that goes into a square hole, and then you just screw a screw through it. So, you know, a little expensive for what it is. I paid like $40 for a tiny handful of parts this morning, but they work perfectly. I don't have to compromise and modify anything that's gonna take up more of my time. So I'm happy to pay the $2 or whatever I paid for this dumb little piece of plastic. All right. But yeah, and then putting it in is super easy. I don't even have to take the headlight out. It just slides right in behind there, and then just pop right on. And then tomorrow when the other screws come, I'll just drive those in. You know, the headlights also hold the grill because his whole lower bumper is gone. So in order for this to all kind of feel a little solid, this all has to be working as one. So this was pretty loose when it started, and we were able to fix that up. We also, this bumper was kind of out of adjustment. On this side, there's a huge pie-shaped gap, so we were able to adjust that to where it's a very small pie shape now, but you know, most people won't even notice. Before, I could stick my hand through on this side, and then it looked like this on the other side, so got that dialed in a little better for him. In running this, I'm gonna run it along a path where there's already a wire. I know that it's more or less a safe path, and I have a little bit of extra slack in here to kind of route it nicely, so I'm always going to do that versus just the other mess we'll show you over here later. That'll be the next project we help Josh out with here. But, you know, doing clean wiring, meaning, you know, the right wiring, securing it, not leaving big bundles of wire in places is actually going to make a big difference in the longevity of your system. If things are just dangling around, rubbing on things, it'll rub the insulation off, it'll rub the protection off eventually, and short out, and you'll wonder why your system works. So, it's a real nice kit. I mean, everything's has pre-made ends on it, molded on and everything, not even put on by hand. So, real nice stuff. So let's route this. I'm going to come through the big old hole for the headlight that's already there. Follow this other wire for the fog lights.
We don't wanna go home.
Now, as I figured, this connector is a little too big to fit under there. That's okay. Who knows how old these zip ties are. I got a whole bag of them over there, so we'll just cut these three, put new ones on, and then that'll just make sure that you know, Josh doesn't have any issues in the future. So go ahead and pull this all the way through. There we go. Now, if this is a project you're thinking about doing yourself, this is super easy. The hardest part is going to be removing the whole like bumper system and stuff. On this truck, it was a little more difficult because of the off-road bumper, but on stock trucks with the plastic bumper, things just pop right apart. I think it was a 10mm wrench and a couple other things were needed to do this. The grill, the bumper has to come off because of where some of the connectors are. I'm going to do mine next week. Maybe the whole bumper, bottom bumper doesn't need to come off. We'll see. No big deal either way though. This last night, the bulk of this took us about an hour, so it wasn't a crazy amount of time involved in it either way. Okay. Put those there so I forget about them and they melt on his engine later. Alright, then we'll just loop that right back through the way it was.
But if you died, I'd die right by your side. Yeah, if you died.
All right, here's some random homeless guy. I mean, the owner of the truck. All right, so there's a little extra wire here. We routed it through here. And so I'm just gonna put that on a zip tie and tuck that in here with the other wires up against the fuse panel. And then I got this little guy to plug in real quick. And this install is done. So this is not my work here. I would just like to make it very clear. I had nothing to do with any of this mess, but I will be fixing it down the road here. And it's getting this cover off really difficult. So I already recognize the fuse I need to pull. Oh. Needle nose. Fuse is good. And then this guy. Plugs right in there. Put that sucker down, and we are good to go. Get this cover back on. Some other questionable is like we tapped into the harness here or into a circuit here at some point, so I'll fix that next time around too. I don't have the right stuff to do it right now, but all easily fixed. So let's slip this sucker back on in a very inconvenient way. Booyah. All right, when you get these headlights, you're gonna have these guys also. And then if you look down in here, where's that little mother hiding? Right here. You get this little guy here. So changing these changes the operation of the daytime running light and the blinker and the way that it functions. So there's 4 different options you can do. So we'll let Josh decide and see that one himself.
For everything I said.